line. Bad bitches, every city in my tribe. Look behind. Booty dominate.
Hello, welcome.
Hi, okay. So there are a couple things that were said that I would like to address.
Are you here to debate?
Yes, it's about the what you said about testosterone. Sorry, I
Okay.
can't pronounce that very well. In external situations where it would become stressful, it's not testosterone that is generated. It is adrenaline, and adrenaline is generated when testosterone or the female variant of that hormone is sent out from the brain. So saying that that testosterone is the reason why there's aggression, yes and no. It's debatable because testosterone is released to tell the body to become more aggressive.
So
And
what did so yeah, that's what I said.
yes, but with men and with the chemical testosterone, more adrenaline is released because men are genetically evolved to be the protectors of their social circle. So if you look at less
You
evolved
don't think
primates,
mothers protect their children?
yes, but that's different. Men are genetically wired to be more aggressive because, again, look at less evolved primates. Who are the protectors of that social circle?
I think it depends on the primate, because if we look at bonobo monkeys, bonobos have eradicated male to female violence. And they did so because whenever a male bonobo monkey would harass a female one, she would let out a call that let all the other female monkeys know that she was in distress. And they would all come to her aid and fuck him up. And then he would be ostracized from the community. So because this was such a consistent occurrence, male bonobo monkeys left female bonobo monkeys alone.
But that's one species that's taking dominance to another level. But we're not talking about
You said
inside social circle.
primates.
Yes, but that's one
And
species.
bonobo monkeys are primates. I think we have like
Yes.
90%
Again,
the same DNA.
but you're talking about one species of the of primates. Again, they're taking dominance to a different level because they are not seeing that male as a fit for their societal circle. So you can't say,
You just pointed to primates and said, who is the protector? It is the male. And I gave you an example where that's not true.
but you're talking about inside the social circle. Inside the social circle is not what's being protected. I mean, not what's being protected from. The males of that society are
When I
more
talk
likely.
about protection, that's what I'm talking about. It's
But
inside
again,
the social circle.
but you're talking about protecting inside the social circle. It's like when a man gets with a woman, who's gonna be protective in that situation if the woman is being harassed by another man or something like that because the other man is not part of his social circle. You
Well,
see,
again, I think you're just supporting this patriarchal notion, because what if it's a lesbian couple?
again, it's because the women want to emulate that protectiveness, and yes, it is true because they're thinking that yeah, men the society part of men, no, the men part of society looks so great. They have this and that, but you have to remember that who has the most suicide rates, right? Who is the more
Well,
likely to go to prison?
that is due. Wait. So when we look at suicide rates, men complete suicide at 3 times the rate, but women attempt at twice the rate.
Yeah, but that also means that women do not go through with having suicidal thoughts and having all
No,
this
it's
shit.
because men typically choose firearms.
No, actually, um, typically that's not actually the case because most men do not have access to firearms.
That's not true within America. There are more firearms than there are Americans.
Yeah, there are more firearms, but who are the ones who
And
actually own them?
like firearms are the most common use when they're when people possess firearms, the most common use for them is suicide.
That is actually not true. There are more
It
cases
is
of people
true.
hanging themselves where they don't allow themselves to have a way out of it. With a firearm, they could hold their shit to their head and all that shit. And then there's actually accidental. There's no such thing as sources. Sources do not prove everything. Everything is about intelligence and actual knowledge of shit. I'm sorry, but
Well, how do you have knowledge without sources and studies?
studies are a farce. There are more men out there that don't come through with their feelings about shit, um,
Then
and they can't
how,
be
wait,
looked at
if
like that.
you say that, then how do you know anything you're saying is true?
Because as a man that has went through suicidal part of his life, I know because I've talked to other
So
people.
you're
I've
just
been
going,
to
okay, so I can pull up the American Psychology Association that is concurring with everything that you just said when it comes to men and expressing their feelings and suicidality. Because there are people who want to get men the mental health that they deserve, and they're trying to assess why men are either not participating in it or not having access to it. And this whole line that you're going down agrees with me, like, because I'm agreeing with everything that you say. And it's because of the construct of masculinity that men are not allowed to be weak, that they are not allowed to struggle, which is why they internalize everything. And then they don't have a support system and they think their only way out is to die. So, yes, there are studies and research regarding this. I don't know why you would discount that.
because not everything in the internet is completely true. You have to
I
realize
agree.
that as
I
well.
agree. That's why we look at primary, secondary, and tertiary sources.
But how do you find out if they're the primary and secondary sources? You can't
And a
trust
primary
that
source is
shit.
when it's actually like, I don't think you know what primary, secondary, and tertiary means.
Hmm.
So I would research that just kind of as a basis to know what kind of source you're looking at. And then once you find sources, you can identify which one is which. But no, to say that there's no such thing as sources that can substantiate claims is dumb. Because then it's just anecdote versus anecdote versus anecdote. Because I'm sure that I could just say, no, I know men, and they don't have that experience that you do.
But you can't say that because as a woman, your mindset is different from actual men. Okay, look at it like this,
I
right?
think everyone's mindset can be different from everyone's. This is why gender is such a big social construct, because not every person takes on all the constructs of masculinity, and not every person takes on all the constructs of femininity. They construct different things from from each bucket. And they still identify either as a man or a woman, but they construct that how they want to be themselves. I would say that my appearance is very feminine. I'm super girly girl. I love makeup. I love dresses. I don't like high heels. But when it comes to my personality, I would definitely say that's more masculine. So I have constructed different characteristics to what I view as how I perceive I want to be express myself as a woman. But I feel that was a big digression. Sorry. Again, like you have, I don't know how you and I can engage in proper discourse when you were essentially saying that research, studies, and statistics don't matter.
Again, I'm not saying all of them don't matter, but I just don't
You
trust
just said
any.
there's
I
no
don't
such
trust
thing as sources.
unless it's been written on paper and it's in the actual in like a university, right? An actual university. The internet is not a good way to find your sources. I'd rather have something physical on paper because that means that it came straight from the source. And if
You
it is,
realize that
that's
papers
fine.
that can be published on the internet, right?
They can be, but again,
Right.
the internet is pliable. It's too pliable.
That's why you have to get good sources. Sure, I'm not going to go to some blog website to look for statistics. I'm going to go to reliable sources that actually collect data, like the CDC, like the National Institute of Medicine, so on and so forth.
Yeah, books can be I'm going to respond to someone in the chat. Yes, books
So
can be pliable, but
please,
it's
please
not.
do not start debating and answering questions in the chat.
Okay, well,
What else did you want to talk about?
um okay, let's talk about trans women. That's something I do want to get out of my head real quick. Tra- there's trans women out there that are saying that they are women and this and that, and people shouldn't have a problem whether they were trans or if they were naturally born. I'm sorry, but men don't usually like to hear that they went through a transition, and if you don't tell them, that's even worse because it can make them upset. It's basically lying to the person in the first place if you do not tell them.
Wait. Are trans women women?
I think that
Let's say yes or no.
there's a physical yes, but then the genetically no. You cannot genetically change your gender.
You can't, well, not genetically, but you can absolutely change things about you biologically that would induce an intersex condition and would align you more with the other sex. A
Yes,
trans
but
woman biologically, because of estrogen, aligns more with females than males.
mm-hmm.
So,
So answer this: can trans women currently give birth?
no.
Okay, so
But wait, there are cis women who cannot give birth.
but they're genetically coded to be able to
But
give
they
birth.
can't.
But
That
you
they
can't
can't give birth. There
you
are
can't
even I'm sorry, go
because
ahead.
there are points where some people can't do the things where their actual genetically birth gender is. I don't remember how to say it. I have this friend that I have this girl that I used to be friends with up there in Crestline, California. I was going to school with her. She has dwarfism, and she has multiple genetic defects that were preventing her from having actual sex. And we were friends for a long time. And she was recently, I've seen her on a dating app from up there because I wanted to move back up there. Um, and I was looking up for someone else to be with because with society now and there being cheating and shit. Okay, back to what I was talking about. She's had surgeries where she's unable to have intercourse or have kids. So even if it's a artificial conception, she can't have kids. So you can't say that all of the stuff that can prove someone is a male or female just because they can't perform that part of it from the genetically birth.
Right. That's my whole point. I'm not saying that you have to meet biological standards to be considered a female or to be considered a woman.
But you do. You to be
Why?
genetically birthed a female, you do. All I'm
I'm saying
saying,
woman. I'm
All I'm
saying
saying,
woman.
I
So
don't
I'm
care.
not
I
saying,
don't care
one
what you
second,
say.
one second. Female and woman, while in some contexts they can be interchangeable, what we're talking about as the construction of a woman, I'm saying you don't innately have to be female to be a woman.
But that's just the thing. Saying that you are full women when you cannot actually say you're full women. You can't say you're full women if you're transitioned. So getting to the point where I don't really care too much about what the trans community does. I just don't like being encroached on by people who are not uh, birthed for the gender that I like, and then in turn not telling me
Wait,
that they're
wait.
not birthed.
Would you, is there a scenario where you would be attracted to a trans woman?
At first I could be attracted to a trans woman because of feminine what you call attributes.
Right, right.
But
So you are attracted to woman as a gender, not as a
as
sex.
as a physical attributes, yes. But the
Right.
thing is, I cannot. I've dealt with this before. I'm sorry that the person had lied to me, and it's considered lying even if you don't tell them. A person had lied to me about what their birth gender was, and
You mean their
when
birth
I found out,
sex?
when I had to find out on my own, I felt wronged. So
Why?
that what I'm trying to say is
Wait, why?
I don't care what the trans community does. It's just don't lie to people. Don't try to be something that you're not.
Do you understand that it can be very dangerous for a trans person to disclose that they are trans?
Yes, I understand. But
Right.
if you're going to be intimate with someone, right? You need to let that person know. So I'm sorry, in my eyes, trans women are not full women. They
Sure,
can play the
sure. I
part.
can like if you have a genital preference, sure, I can understand
It's not
disclosing
a
that.
gender preference. It's more of it's what my preference as a person who I want in my life. It's not about the genitals. It's not about that. It's about, hey, I don't want to be with a trans woman because that also means that this person also used to be a man. So
Wait,
it
wait, wait. Wait, if you are attracted to them,
uh-huh.
not only like physically, but I would assume like
A man could be
intellectually,
attracted
there's
to a
compassion.
tree that has very curved edges. It's not about that.
One second. Can I just finish my point?
Go ahead.
So I'm just asking, when it comes to attraction and desire and love, if you are attracted to them physically, if you are attracted to them intellectually and their personality, and if you don't have a genital preference, then what is it about them that you're not attracted to? Is it their
It's the fact
chromosomes?
that they
Like,
saw
that
the
doesn't
need
make
to
any
change
sense.
themselves.
You are not attracted to chromosomes.
It's the fact that they saw a need to change themselves. It it's
No,
not.
they see a need to, they might change certain physical, certain things about their outward appearance. Cis women do that all the time. Cis women get fake butts and new chins and fake boobs. They change themselves all the time.
Yeah, and that's one thing again most men actually really don't find attractive. The
You're
there's a
saying these changes you do find attractive.
But I don't find
Then
them
why
attractive
were you attracted to them?
because some of them can actually make themselves look natural. It's the concept of having that change. It's not the fact
I
what changes
don't
they
think
make.
it is. If I'm not trying to tell you how you feel or who you want to be, but from my point of view, this is just internalized homophobia. You feel like you're gay because they were born male.
Well, no, and that's
You're muted. Ask for his insurance. This is beginning to feel like therapy, my guy. Venmo and Cash App and buy. Okay, well, I think I am gonna move on. I appreciate you.
I'm so fucking cute, bitch. I'm so fucking cute.